All right. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. All right. You guys, we got the live stream on. Make sure I'm muted. We got the live stream going right now on YouTube. And we also got the live stream on Instagram. All right, guys, so today, first of all, thank you everybody who's watching this. Probably not gonna be a lot of people on Instagram, gonna have more people on YouTube. That's where I have the bigger community. If you missed this call, that's cool. You can just jump over to YouTube afterwards. There's gonna be a lot of information I'm breaking down today. And honestly, people charge for this. So I'm gonna go in full detail and I'm gonna put you guys on the right path so that you can learn how to start an Airbnb business. All right, because I started with one property and that trickled into me now having 5 properties, running a $250,000 business strictly off of, Airbnb. So I'm going to break down to you guys how you guys can get started, how you can follow the same path that I did, and that you can just start, building equity, collecting properties, building cash flow, living the life that you want, because I automate everything. You guys see the lifestyle that I live. I travel a lot. I basically don't have to be there to do much with the properties. Everything is outsourced, cleaning, communication, things like that. So we're going to break that down today. All right. So if you guys got questions, unfortunately, I'm not going to be checking it until the end. So if you guys want to save that, we'll see if we get some questions. But today's going to be good. If you guys want a notebook and paper, I know my community on YouTube is used to that on the gems that I drop. But if you're on Instagram, you're just dropping in, that's fine, that's cool. But a lot of people have been asking me lately, like how to get into Airbnb. So I figured this would be beneficial to go ahead and break it down step by step, exactly how you guys can do it. All right. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to determine if this is for you. All right. If this business is for you. And what do I mean by that? All right. For starters, it says business. All right. So this is not something that you're just going to get into and, half-ass and you think that you're going to make a lot of money. All right. So you have to understand that this is going to be a legitimate business. All right. You don't have to set up an LLC to do this, but I'm going to get into why it's going to be more beneficial if you do get an LLC. All right. Because there's a lot of tax benefits when you actually run a short-term rental business. All right. So you have to first get into the mindset that, okay, I'm going to be a business owner. I'm going to operate this business correctly. I'm going to take it full speed and I'm going to do what's necessary. All right. So you have to determine, okay, then you have to see if the skills that you have can coexist with this business. All right. So if you're somebody who likes interior design, all right. So I know there's a lot of females out there. You guys want to be interior designers, things like that. You have the opportunity to design your space. And I'll let you guys know with the strategies that I teach on how you can furnish your properties efficiently, make it look luxurious, you're going to be able to dominate and it's not going to cost you too much. All right. So if you're somebody who likes, to design, you like a bed to look a certain way, a living room, a bathroom, a kitchen, things like that, then you'll do great in this business. All right. The next thing is going to be customer service. All right. Now you don't have to do the customer service. You can outsource it. But if you're somebody who takes pride in communicating with, your guests and things like that, making sure that they have a good experience, that's how you can become a super host. All right. Because it's one thing to provide a nice property, but it's another thing to provide a great stay. And that's how you're going to provide excellent customer service. All right. Then we have work ethic. Okay. Because what I'm going to teach you guys is how you can create an entire enterprise for yourself, having multiple properties. All right. So you're going to have to work hard. This is not for the weak. This is not for somebody who's just looking to get rich quick, things like that. This is actual work. So you have to have good work ethic. And then the next one is going to be the ability to problem solve. All right. Because in this business, sometimes things are going to happen. Maybe the keypad to get in stopped working. Maybe the toilet isn't working. Maybe something that you have to send somebody on site or you have to go on site. So you're going to have to problem solve. All right. Everything is not going to operate smoothly. Of course, we want it to, but we're going to have ourselves in positions to succeed at all moments. All right. So we have to determine if this business is for us. And then we have to understand that there are going to be skills that are necessary in order to thrive in this business. All right. So once we get our mindset right and we're like, okay, you know what, this is a business for me, I can see myself actually doing this, we have to determine the route to get your first property. All right. There's many ways that you can get into it. Okay. So I started off with rental arbitrage, guys. What rental arbitrage is, that's basically when you get a property. This can be a home, this can be a condo, it can be a trailer, it can be whatever. You're going to get it under lease where you have a monthly rent, and then you're going to present to them that you're going to place this on Airbnb, and then you make profit. So for example, let's say you get something for rent that's, you know, $1,200 a month. All right, you divide that by 30, that's $40 a night. Rule of thumb, not rule of dumb. I guess you could dumb it down. You're just going to multiply your nightly rate, whether you're paying a mortgage or a lease. You're going to multiply that by 3, and that's what you should be charging on the nightly rate so that you can cash flow. All right, the next thing that we have is ownership. All right, so now I own all of my properties. That's because the strategy that I'm going to share with you guys is really how you can build wealth. Okay, if you follow my strategies, you won't ever have to work again. I'm serious. If you get a couple of Airbnb properties, you will not have to do anything else. You can live comfortably, making $20,000 a month. You can travel the world, live the life that you want. Next way is going to be partnership. This way is kind of hard. You can get in with this strategy with no money, but it's honestly, I don't like it, but it is possible. All right, so we'll go ahead and break down arbitrage first and how you guys can get your first property, because I know a lot of you guys are going to want to go this route if you don't have the money to actually own the property. All right, so with rental arbitrage, the first thing that I want you guys to do is to hop in your car. All right, hop in your car and drive around your city. You are going to see places that have for rent. Okay, you're going to see items on Zillow. You're going to see rent.com. You might see on Facebook Marketplace. You're going to have the ability to see people that need their place rented. All right. Now we have to present to them in a professional manner so that we can allow them to use this property on Airbnb. So there's a few ways that we can do. All right. If you get a company, you can do what's called corporate leasing. Okay. So if you go to an apartment complex, you say, hey, do you guys accept corporate leasing? They might say yes, they might say no. Then you're going to present to them what you are going to do. All right. Some might limit you to a 30-day. All right. They might say, hey, you can do Airbnb, but they have to do a longer stay. They have to do 30 days minimum, which is fine. That's another strategy. But if they allow a short term, we are now going to present to them all the benefits of allowing us to put it on Airbnb. The first benefit is the property is going to be fully insured. All right. So this is going to make them feel comfortable. This is going to make any landlord comfortable, because when it comes to their properties getting rented, they want to make sure that they're safe and protected and that their property isn't going to be damaged. So we're going to let them know, first of all, that we have an insurance policy. For those of you who do not know, Airbnb has $1 million insurance properties through all of their properties. All right. So you immediately have access to that. You don't have to pay anything extra. That is going to come out of their service fee. All right. The next thing that we're going to present to them is background checks. Okay. So all of the individuals that are coming through on your Airbnb, they're going to go through a background check. Everything is going to be fine. And then the next thing, properties are going to be professionally cleaned. All right. So we can present to them that this property is always going to be in move-in ready condition. Okay. Imagine that you have a landlord, you have a complex, you have an owner, and you're letting them know, hey, look, your rent's going to be on time. The property's fully insured. If there's any damages, anything that needs to be changed, we're going to take care of it. And also, property is going to stay in mint condition. All right. On Airbnbs, if anybody damages anything, Airbnb will reimburse you immediately. And then also, we're constantly having it looking good. So let's say if anything happened, they're like, oh no, we don't like this anymore. We don't want to do it. At least you can take everything out and the property's in pristine condition. All right. So we're making it make sense. All right. So we're presenting to them the value of allowing us to put it on Airbnb. The next thing that we're going to let them know is, of course, rent is going to be paid on time, but potentially we're looking for a long-term contract. All right. I'll let you guys know, I'm a property owner. If I was doing a long-term rental and I had somebody present to me that they'll be the best tenant that I've ever had, and they're looking to sign long-term and my rent is going to be on time every day, and I don't have to do a lot of the work so they can eliminate getting a property manager, this would be music to my ears. But the thing is, guys, This is all going to be in how you present yourself. So if you're somebody who cannot communicate professional, I'm telling you, you will not be successful in this. So it's going to come down to your mouthpiece, your ability to communicate, your ability to talk and explain the benefits of getting to this position of putting their property on Airbnb. Now, we'll let you guys know there's going to be a lot of no's. All right, you're going to be out there doing research. There's going to be a lot of no's. But here is some tips so that you can get that first property, because you got to do what you got to do to get into that first property. Because once you get into that first property, it's going to be a steamroll. All right, you're going to start getting more and more properties, but just keep that mindset that it is going to take some work and you're not going to get a property immediately. All right. First thing we're going to do is drive around. Whatever area you want to do Airbnb is fine. With the strategies that I'm going to share with you guys, it doesn't matter if you are at a heavy tourist area or not. Okay, it's more beneficial, of course, but there is going to be Airbnbs that you can dominate in places that people don't even know would actually do good. Rule of thumb, if there's a hotel in that city, you can also have an Airbnb and thrive. All right, so you're going to drive around. Okay, you're going to see the for rent signs. You're going to go on Zillow, whatever. You're going to set up an in-person meeting. Okay, this is how I got my properties, guys. I'm letting you guys know the same blueprint that I did to now running a $250,000 business. You are going to get an in-person meeting. You're not going to present to them on the phone. You're not going to do all that. You are going to let your ability to communicate, your ability to close to get this done. But when you go to this in-person meeting, what are you going to do? You're going to come professional. All right. If you want to dress professional, that's a plus, but just make sure that you're not in, some lousy clothes. The next thing that you're going to have is you're going to have like a business flyer. Okay. So I recommend having a folder with some business cards, just making your company look legitimate. You have a website that's listing out all the benefits that you present. And then you're also going to have, maybe some pictures of other Airbnbs, maybe a picture of yourself. And then you're just laying out everything, all the benefits of working with us. Property is fully insured. Property is going to be professionally clean. We have maintenance, upkeep. We handle anything. The AC goes bad, we'll take care of it. Plumbing goes bad, we'll take care of it. Rent is always going to be in time. You're outlining it on that pamphlet that you're going to give to them. You're giving them the business card and you're communicating with them in person. All right. If you're talking to somebody on the phone, they might be able to, okay, I hear what you're saying, but they might be a little bit hesitant. If you are presenting to them in person, you have everything professional, everything laid out, you're going to separate yourself and you're going to make it make sense to them right in front of them. All right. So it's going to come down to your ability to close. So I recommend that you guys go on Zillow, look for properties that are for rent, drive around, look for signs that are for rent, and set up in-person meetings, in-person showings, okay? And if you guys don't know what to put on your flyer, your pamphlet, your website, I will be sharing with you guys a document. If you message me, I'll send you the exact word for word, verbatim template that I use to get my first property, all right? So rental arbitrage, this is a route that a lot of you guys can get into if you do not have enough money for a down payment. Now let's go over costs real quick, because you guys are probably like, well, how much is it going to cost? I don't have enough money, yada, yada, yada. All right. If you're somebody who's thinking that you're going to dominate and make 20K a month off of nothing, please stop watching. All right. It's going to take money to make money. If you're going the arbitrage route, of course, you're not having the money for a down payment on a home, but there are going to be other expenses. Okay, I would say you need between $3,500 to $5,000 to successfully get your Airbnb business up and running. Now, if you don't have that money liquid, that's fine. You should be able to get a credit card, a line of credit, anything like that. If you start a new business, there's funding options for you. Getting $5,000 is not difficult, guys. And the reason why you want to take that risk, we're going to go over how you can kind of vet properties and make sure it's going to be profitable. But Airbnb is guaranteed. I'll let you guys know, if you follow my strategies, you furnish it correctly, you have the title, you have your pictures, good location, you're going to cash flow. So if you put this on a credit card where you pay your first month's rent, you pay for your furnishing, think about it. That bill is not going to be due until the next month. All right. And if you break up that payment every single month, you're going to be cash flowing on Airbnb. Okay. So this is how you can actually get started. If you have a line of credit, it's not going to cost you any money down. If you have some money saved up, then this is going to be beautiful for you. All right. So with arbitrage, let's make sure that we're setting in-person appointments and we have at least $3,500 to $5,000 to invest. All right. Think about this. If we invest that first month, and then every single month is positive cash flow, that means your net business expenses is just coming at the beginning because you're cash flowing every single month. So it's going to be worth it, a $3,500 to $5,000 investment, to then start cash flowing every single month. Because what I teach is we want to make, if we got one property minimum, we want to make $1,000 to $1,500 a month. All right, this is going to be just cash flow there. As we start getting into our upper tiers of properties, you'll be able to cash flow more. There's properties that I'm able to cash flow $5,000 to $8,000 per month, but I'll share with you guys that in a little bit. All right, ownership. Okay, this is also another gem for you guys. If you don't want to go the rental arbitrage route, you want to go ownership directly in, and you do not have that down payment, you don't have a 10 or 15, 20% down, I'll let you guys know that if you have an LLC, you can get a property much easier than if you're trying to buy a property in your name. I'm going to break that down to you guys. All of my properties are under my LLC. Okay. The reason for this is I haven't bought a primary resident yet. Okay. No primary residency. I don't want any of my properties, any of my mortgages on my credit report. Another thing, if you purchase a property under a LLC, you can get what's called a DSCR loan, in which they're going to go off of the projected rental income on the property. What does this mean for you? They don't require any income verification. All right. They don't require much. They honestly just want to see you have proof of funds for your payments, and that the property is going to positively cash flow. How can you determine if a property is going to positively cash flow? You're going to look at it in comparison to other properties that are up for rent. So let's say, for example, you're looking to buy a property and the mortgage is, let's say, $1,500 a month. All right. And you look and you can see that the market for that similar property is going for $2,000 a month. They're going to determine, hey, this is a positive cash flow property. You can now get this property. All right. Now that has to be under an LLC, and this is why it's beneficial. Another thing is you guys can get an interest only payment. All right. For the first few years, this is something that I recommend. Now you guys might say, what the hell? Why in the world would you get an interest only payment? You're not chucking down on the principal on the property. You're just paying interest. So like, what are you doing? Guys, did you know that interest payments are 100% tax deductible? All right. So if your property is positively cash flowing, you're going to make money. You have to pay taxes regardless. Instead of paying the government, you're paying for the expense of the property that you already have to pay. So if you have an exit strategy that, okay, I'm going to own this property in 3 to 5 years, I'm going to have an exit strategy where I'm going to sell it for more. But in those 3 to 5 years, I'm going to positively cash flow and reap the tax benefits. Boom. Beautiful. Right there. Another thing, when you own a property through an LLC and you operate a business with a short-term rental, you're now eligible for a cost analysis. Okay. When you have a cost segregation analysis on a property, you can save so much in taxes. Guys, my tax bill last year was insane. It was crazy. I looked at it and I was like, wow, that's really why I'm in Puerto Rico right now. I had to get away from that. But I ended up figuring out that you can get a cost segregation analysis because you do a short-term rental. And basically what you do is they take the value of the property, they go in, they see everything, countertops, blah, blah, blah. They do a whole test. You're going to get like a huge dollar amount that you can speed up your depreciation. So I was able to get a tax deduction of almost $75,000 this year. That helped me because I didn't have to pay taxes on it. That is going to be because I own properties in my LLC and I did an Airbnb. So if you guys are like, well, you know, it's kind of hard for me to buy a property, I want you to get out of that mindset. You can buy a property. Okay. So just save up enough money for 10% down. You don't have to have, you know, proof of income, anything like that. They're going to go off of the rental projections on the property. All right, then the next thing is partnership. I just recommend you guys joining a Facebook group. There's people who manage, you know, many Airbnbs. Some people run Airbnb, they don't want to manage it. So you can go through partnership. You can get in a group in your local area and you can reach out to a local owner and say, hey, I'll manage your Airbnb property. And then they'll work a percentage out with you or pay you a dollar amount. So at least you can get your foot in the game and you can understand the business. All right, so those are the 3 routes. We got arbitrage, you're gonna need 3,500 to 5,000. We got ownership, you're gonna need about 10% down, then we have partnership. Also, look into properties that you can renovate, okay? This is the route that I go because you're building equity. You're gonna be able to pull out some equity on that property in the future that's gonna allow you to monopolize and get more properties. We're gonna get in that to a little bit, but this is how you get wealthy, guys. Ownership, 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 ownership. Having these properties is gonna increase your net worth, increase your ability to get more loans, increase your acquisitions, everything. Ownership is the key. You can start off with rental arbitrage, but this is how you make the big bread and you live the life you want to live. All right. So you're going to have to put in the work to obtain the property. I've already told you guys, if we're going the arbitrage route, you need to be driving around looking for these properties. You need to be going online, Zillow, things like that, and then setting up those in-person events. You have to put in the work. You have to understand that not everybody's going to be cool with letting you put the property on Airbnb. If you're running ownership, you have to put in the work. You have to look for a property that's going to make sense, get into a nice area. All right. After we obtain our property, also keep in mind, guys, for properties, we want something near either a historical landmark, all right, near some type of arena, convention center, near like a beach, anything that is attractive. We want to have our properties there. Like, okay, I got a property in Poconos Mountains in Pennsylvania. You may have never heard of the Poconos Mountains, but it's a destination where people love to go, summertime, wintertime. Okay, I got properties in Fort Myers Beach. Now I just got a property in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and La Placita. So you're gonna want to get a property in a place that makes sense, but also don't get caught up on having a property that, oh, it has to be in Orlando, it has to be in Miami. My properties in Fort Myers probably cash flow more than people in Miami. And the thing is, people don't realize that there's thousands of people on this planet. I mean, millions of people on the planet. There's thousands of people that are constantly visiting Fort Myers. They're not strictly coming for the beach. Fort Myers got hit by the hurricane, and I have friends. It's hilarious, even family members. Is anybody booking your property? How's it going? Are people still getting it because of the hurricane? Listen, shut up. You sound stupid. And then I send them the screenshot showing that it's fully booked. The reason is my property looks great, furnished correctly. Pictures look good, everything looks good. And that's giving me the ability to have a successful Airbnb business. That's why I'm gonna break down to you guys how you can always be profiting. This business is guaranteed. You're gonna live the life you wanna live if you follow this path, all right? So let's say, boom, you got a property, everything is going good. You gotta set your team up. First thing is cleaner. Cleaner is gonna be your business expense, but there's a reason why. If your property is not clean, you're gonna get bad reviews. If you get bad reviews, your property is not going to get booked. Nobody wants to come and lay down to a place where it's dirty, there's hair in the bathroom, there's dust, there's roaches, things like that. So your cleaner is going to be crucial. Your cleaner is going to be your superstar. But the cleaner, I'll tell you guys, there's a few ways that you can get this efficiently. First thing is posting on Craigslist, posting by the hour. You should be paying the cleaner between $20 to $30 an hour. All right. I recommend getting a cleaner who's an individual that's just cleaning by themselves, because when you go to the cleaning companies, they're going to charge an arm and a leg, and then you're going to be looking at your cash flow like, boom, what is going on? All right. So get your cleaner. All right. Your cleaner is crucial. Your cleaner is the reason why you don't have to be at that property all the time and you can automate it. Next thing is going to be handyman. You don't need the handyman at all times, but there's going to be times where the toilet isn't working. All right. And if you're out living the life you want to live, you're traveling, you're doing what you want to do, you can't hop on that plane and go fix a toilet. You got to have a handyman. Something might mess up, AC, anything like that, you have a handyman. All right. This is all about building your team so you can automate. Next thing is customer support. Now, if you're first starting out and you only got a few properties, I recommend you doing the customer support yourself to save on the cost. But having a team, I have my team that handles this for me. I hop in every now and then if I don't see the response fast enough. But the customer support, this is going to be giving your guests check-in instructions. This is going to be following up with them during their stay. Hey, hope you're having a great stay. If you need anything, please let us know. This is going to be handling them post-checkout as well. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to host you. We really enjoyed you. These are little things of communication that's going to allow you to get those high stars and be a super host. All right. So you have to set your team up, your cleaner, your handyman, your customer support. The next thing, all right, we got to set up our property. Okay. Now this This is the final step. This is how you can dominate. All right. I'm going to tell you guys how you can do this very efficiently, very inexpensive. The first thing that we're going to do is you got to get a nice comforter. You got to get bed sheets, comforters. I recommend getting 2 for each room. The reason why you want to have 2 for each room is going to make it a lot cleaner on the turnaround time. All right. So if you have somebody coming in, you got the bed sheets, you got the comforters, and the cleaner already has the clean one. They can put the new ones on, boom, take that to the washer and dryer. You're good to go. To get those inexpensive, go to Marshall's, go to Ross, go to Target. I would stay away from Walmart. I started off with Walmart. The thing is, the comforters start tearing in the washer and dryer. So lean more towards that. You can look at Wayfair and you can look at Amazon. Amazon is great as well. The next thing that we want to do, this is going to stand out and allow you to charge more, and it's very inexpensive. Adding wallpaper to wherever the bed is. I'm serious, guys. You guys have seen my listings. All right. Wherever the bed's headboard, you want to have some type of nice design with the wallpaper. All right. That little thing is going to separate. You have a nice rug under the bed. You might have a throw blanket. You know, that is going to separate you. Just have a nice wallpaper. I'm serious. Wallpaper inexpensive. That's going to allow your listing to stand out. It's going to look good. You don't have just regular walls. You got nice wallpaper, you got your nice comforter, you got your accent pillows, you have your lamp, you have your trees, you got your plants, you got your pictures. You know, you want to have your property just looking nice and modern. So many people get into Airbnb and they don't even give their Airbnb love. They literally just have a blanket and a pillow and the walls are blank and it just doesn't feel good. We want to cash flow. We want to dominate. All right. So we want our properties looking a certain way. Okay. So in the living room, you know, we're having a nice dining room table. You're having just all these little trinkets to make your property look good. And you can get this done inexpensively. All right. So make sure you check Facebook Marketplace. You can get a lot of things there. You could check Wayfair as well. Home Goods, they might have little sales, things like that. But furnishing your property is crucial. Okay. Do not half-ass this. Especially if you have a credit card, don't be afraid to swipe that card, because the more you put into it, I promise you, I had my boy hit me up the other day. He was like, man, when you furnish your Airbnbs, like you go overboard. I'm like, that's what it takes. That's allowing me to charge 200 a night, 250 a night, and allowing me to cash flow big bread because I'm putting in the work and I'm making it stand out. All right. The next thing is going to be setting up your listing. All right. So when you set up your listing, there's a few items that you're going to need so you can automate it. The first thing is going to be the key list entry. All right. Somebody comes in, you give them a code, boom, 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 1, 2, 3, 4. They can get into the door. That way, you don't have to have somebody go into them, giving them the key. There's no lockbox. There's no physical key getting lost. It's literally just a code. The next thing is going to be your Ring camera. You get your camera set up so you can see if anything shakes. You can see right there. If any guests, you know, they're acting rowdy, they're acting up, things like that. Boom. Setting up your listing, I recommend, if you don't have an like an iPhone 13 or newer, iPhone 12 or newer, get a professional photographer. Okay. If you have the newer iPhone, you can do it on your iPhone. If you don't, get a professional photographer, take some nice pictures. But then also it's about your listing. Your listing is it's an algorithm. Honestly, I hate to say it, it's kind of like Tinder. If you swiping on Tinder and a girl's picture isn't good, you're going to swipe away. The same thing on Airbnb. If you see a listing that's nice, you're going to go to it. So you have to stand out. So those primary pictures, your listings has to look good. It has to be appealing. And then Airbnb is going to push it. All right. So you have to make sure your listing is set up, looking good. That's going to be titled, like my titles. I have modern residential home, minutes from the beach, luxury, brand new home, newly renovated. Like you have to have these titles that are going to have somebody appealing, like, oh, that sounds good. Let me click on that. Luxury, modern residential. Oh, I like that. Minutes from the beach. Wow. Minutes from the airport, minutes from wherever the attraction is. They're going to like that. All right. Then we got to dominate, guys. All right. We're not in this business just to half-ass it. We're in this business to dominate. All right. So we're looking to get more and more properties. All right. So when you start cash flowing, you need to start looking and acquiring another property. If you're doing ownership, you might want to start pulling out some equity. All right. You pull out some equity, you get another property and you rent and repeat. And the good thing is you guys can do this everywhere. I know I got some viewers that are out there in Europe right now. You can do this in Europe as well. Airbnb is everywhere. And the great thing about Airbnb is They handle the marketing for you. That's why I say this business is guaranteed. A lot of businesses struggle because of marketing. Okay, I got this great product, but I don't have anybody that's going to see it. Airbnb is one of the largest lodging apps. People are using Airbnb essentially more than hotels. So they're already there looking, searching. So if you can present a nice property that's standing out, that's looking good, you're going to get booked. All right. So we have to make sure that we're looking to dominate, acquire more properties. You can do this anywhere in the world. You don't have to live there. If you own properties, it's going to be more beneficial for the tax write-off purposes, more of the cash flow. You're going to get more equity. Your mortgage might be lower than a rental payment. And it's good to say, hey, you know what? I own all these properties. It's going towards my net worth and I'm really getting to the money. All right. So that's steps 1 through 5. Okay. It's pretty generic. I did go in a little detail, but if you guys want to learn more, want to learn from somebody who's, crushing it, I got 5 properties pulling in over $250,000 a year. Contact me, just message me. Those of you on YouTube, you guys already know what's up. The email is going to be right there. On Instagram, just send me a nice little DM. We can do many things. All right. I can send you the same script that I use to acquire properties. I can give you a little bit of hidden gems on how to acquire properties. I can also teach you how to furnish your properties. All right. So if you get a property ready to go, you want me to come out there, help you set up the property. I offer that as well. I can help you when it comes to funding. If you have an LLC and you're looking to buy a property and you have the bread for a down payment, you got that 10 to 20%. I got some lenders for you, the same lenders that I use, so you can get that. If you're looking to renovate a property and you're in the Florida area, I got somebody that can renovate it for you, does amazing. Even if it's in another state, we'll be able to go out there and help you out. But Airbnb is great, guys. That's just one of the streams that I do. If you guys are new to this page, those of you on YouTube, you already know Money Making Juggernaut. I have over 15 streams of income, and Airbnb is one of my favorite. And I'm just glad that I got it to over $250,000. I got a couple of other 6-figure businesses, but you guys know that, the reason why I call myself the Money Making Juggernaut is because a juggernaut does a lot of things, and I have multiple streams of income. I became a millionaire by 26, and people are always like, wow. Some people look at it as like inspiration. Some other people hate, like, yeah, right. But hey, the proof is in the pudding. I'm here to motivate and educate. I'm always showing you guys receipts. Okay, you guys see the properties that I have. You see the monthly revenue. You see everything, the lifestyle that I live. Maybe some of the streams of income that I do, you don't want to do, you don't want to follow, but you should follow the mindset. All right. Because guys, I have the mindset that I can do anything, and I am doing anything and everything that I want to do. I'm working hard. I'm laying out exactly what I need to do. But the first thing is going to be getting educated and getting in the proper mindset. All right. So when you guys have the knowledge mixed with the mindset and the ability to work hard, I'm telling you, nothing can stop you. All right. So thank you, everybody. Wait, actually, we're going to get into questions real quick. Let's see what we got. We got any questions? I saw we had a lot of people come and stop. Let's check on YouTube. My YouTube community, what's good? My favorite community out there. Okay, we got some people. How do I get the website for the Airbnb business? You can make a website on Wix. I would like that document. Yeah, guys. So I'll send you that document. I'll send you guys all of that. I'm going to go ahead and hop off now. So if you guys hopped in late, you can check the replay on YouTube, and I'll check in with y'all.